I don't know how much longer my father has. You know, he, he won't speak to me because of this security stuff.
The impression from that quite lengthy and revealing interview is that Harry is he's obsessive. You can feel the obsessiveness of his character, and he's very, very stubborn, and he doesn't think he's wrong. He is always right. So it's very revealing as sort of the psychology of Harry, and he does appear, I think, in this interview to be very fragile. Um, but he's not prepared to say sorry. He's not prepared to apologize because he doesn't think that he has any need to apologize because he is in the right and everyone else is in the wrong. And then he's also very contradictory. So, for instance, he talks in rather hushed tones about things that he knows, which came to be revealed in the court case, which presumably is that he has threats against his life, which he has had frequently. But you then think about, well, he wrote in his book Spare that he, attacked and killed the Taliban. So of course they're going to come back at him. So of course he's in a sort of dangerous situation. But does he really think the British government are going to allow him to be killed? I mean, can you imagine how dreadful that will be? So he does actually have security. It's just not the kind of security that he personally would like. So half of me felt very sympathetic to Harry because he's obviously very disturbed. And half of me felt quite angry with him because he just refuses to see any way except Harry's way.
If anything was to happen to me, my wife, or my father's grandchildren, if anything was to happen to them, look where the responsibility lies.
I don't think Harry thinks about anyone else except himself and his family and what affects him immediately. Now, to my mind, he's become very obsessed by this court case, and he's admitted it. But Harry has a very obsessive personality from everything we've seen. And I don't think he feels that he has any reason to apologize and that people instead should be apologizing to him.
I would love reconciliation with my family. There's no point in continuing to fight anymore.
Well, I think King Charles is in a very unenviable position with his youngest son. He can't trust him because everything that he says gets repeated. I mean, we didn't know for sure, for instance, that Charles and Harry hadn't spoken, but now we know. So nothing seems to be sacred, and nothing seems to be seems to be unable to trust Harry. So if you can't trust someone, you have to tread around them very cautiously. And I don't think that Charles probably has, either has the time or the desire to do that at the moment. So I think it's a bit of an impasse. I don't see what Charles can do. And I think, Harry just is very accusatory and throws more and more things at him. And then finally says, well, infers, he doesn't say this, he infers that his father may not have much longer to live. Well, I mean, that could be said for any of us, we don't know.